Warning, there will be spoilers on this show. Please do not send us hate mail. Proceed at your own risk.
Welcome to the First Six podcast. I am half of this show, and my name is Molly Southgate.
And I'm the other half, Tabby Hollywood.
And today we will be doing Friends.
Friends follows the personal and professional lives of 6 20 to 30-something-year-old friends living in Manhattan.
All right, so Friends stars Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, Lisa Cadreau, Matt LeBlanc, Matthew Perry, David Schwimmer, and James Michael Tyler. I don't know why he's not really in it that much, but the others are the main ones. I guess IMDb can be a little strange with which order.
IMDb just lists them as, I think, whichever many episodes they're in.
Yeah, it does, but sometimes it can be tricky because, like, if it's only got a couple main characters.
Yeah. I did have something about the cast. Courtney Cox, who plays Monica Geller, actually, they wanted her for Rachel.
Really?
But she said she wanted to be Monica instead.
She's perfect for Monica.
Yeah, they were going to cast her as Rachel, but she said that she wanted to be, like, the stronger one.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't see her as Rachel. Like, I get it as Monica. Okay, another fun fact about the cast, though. Lisa Cadreau, who plays Phoebe, she was in Space Force.
She was.
She was the best part.
She played, the mom, right?
Yes. Yeah, she was the mom in prison.
Yes. I saw her and I was like, where do I recognize her from?
Yeah.
Then I realized, Space Force.
See, for me it was the other way around, because I had never seen Friends, but I'd seen a lot of, like, promotional material.
Oh, I had never seen.
Oh, I know this one.
Yes, I knew she was, like, a big actress, but I had never seen Friends. So.
Yeah. Me neither, actually. This was my first time ever, and I know for
yes, like, even just watching an episode or anything.
Yeah, same. I've seen, like, 5-second long clips when my, like, cable happened to have Friends on that I switched to another show, always. For one main reason, though, is why I always switched. Because there's a laugh track. Okay,
this laugh track laughs every 2 seconds, because actually, it was filmed in front of a live audience.
It was?
Most of it was filmed in front of a live audience.
Oh. Was it like a multi-camera one, do you think? Or probably like for the time.
Probably.
So was the laugh track actually the live audience? Or I'm always confused by the live audience recording things. So they found it that funny.
I know, right? It's like they might have replayed more, maybe, but
because it was like every other line.
Okay, and then every now and then there's just that weird like a half laugh that really, really got on my nerve. It was like a half laugh that was so annoying.
That's how I felt while watching this show. I felt like the annoying half laugh where it's like. There are some jokes that are...
I actually didn't laugh at all while watching this.
Really?
Not even once.
So, did you find anything funny and just didn't laugh, or...?
I mean, I found it funny, but, like, there are some shows that I watch that I'm, like, laughing out loud. And, like, constantly laughing. But in this, it might have been because of the laugh track, trying to get me to laugh. I don't know, but I just didn't laugh at all. Not even once. I didn't half laugh. I didn't do anything.
Oh, that's okay. I find that really interesting, actually, because for this, I did laugh a bit in the first couple episodes, and then episode 4, 5, and 6, I almost stopped watching. I hated them so much.
Not that bad.
Episode 4. Episode 4 I hated.
Which one was episode 4?
Well, now I gotta go look and have a refresher. But I remember I was just so frustrated. Just,
Wow.
like, during those last few. And, okay, this had, like, the perfect combination of things that I hate. Laugh track, not great acting. The writing is, it's not that funny, but it's supposed to be a comedy. And it's very fat-phobic. That's, like, the whole show.
But it's supposed to be, like, the acting, it's supposed to be like that. Like, that's the kind of show it is, right?
Yeah.
Right?
It is supposed to be that, but I don't like that as a, like, I don't like that as an idea that it's like, oh, here's the basis for the show. It's gonna be, like, not great on purpose.
I don't know, because it's a very popular show.
I know. See, I find it interesting. Because so many people like this.
Yeah, a lot of people really like this. Actually, I was talking with one of my friends last week, and they were saying, and she was saying that she really likes this show.
Really?
She said that she's not a big fan of laugh tracks, but she found this show really funny and she loves it. But then I was like, oh, I was excited to watch it, but then I watched it and I didn't laugh once.
Yeah, I was nervous to watch it. I was like, I don't know. Because I had seen a couple clips before, and I was so frustrated. I was like,
haven't really, at all.
Yeah, I like the idea of it, but honestly, okay, here's what I struggled with the most. And now, like, please tell me if this was just me or if you found this too. So, I felt like none of them had chemistry. At all. And, like, in the first episode, the Ross and Rachel thing it felt so forced the whole time. And I know I'm probably gonna get hate for saying this, because everyone loves the Ross and Rachel relationship. I was like, they have nothing in common. They don't have a relationship. There's no chemistry.
I feel like
their name starts with the same letter.
Okay.
That's about it.
I felt like in the first episode, you're right, but, like, towards the end, I liked it. Yeah, I feel like in episode 5, they weren't that bad. They didn't seem like to me, they seemed like good friends.
Yes, I felt like their friendship was better in episode 5.
Yeah, I felt like, but they just seemed like friends.
Yeah, I did not see any romantic connection.
I think the other thing, though, might be, I didn't really like any of the characters.
Same!
There was one, in episode 6, when Monica is so obsessed with cleaning, that was the one time on the whole show where I kind of liked her.
I loved her. Okay, I liked when they gave her personality trait during that.
Yeah. Oh, and when she's like the sibling that always gets in trouble.
Oh my gosh, I hated her parents, but I loved that plot line. I thought that was a good one.
I was like, yeah, see, siblings, they're so annoying.
So now in your house, which of you is Monica and which is Ross?
I am the one who gets in trouble.
So you're Monica?
But the thing is, I have 2 older brothers and a younger sister. And, so apparently I'm the most mature one in the house, even though my old brother is 18. But anyway, I'm the most mature one. So, I can't get mad when my 15-year-old brother starts messing with me. I'm not allowed to get mad. Or, but then when I mess with my little sister, I'm the one who gets in trouble. Not fair. Not fair.
Well,
just saying.
Okay, Monica.
But
so
anyway,
is that siblings. Who you are on this show? Because I'm Phoebe.
You're Phoebe? Yeah?
Oh, yeah. My mom kept staring at me when I was saying it. She kept like, making eye contact, like, just giving me the side eye.
That's weird.
When Phoebe was saying any of her lines, because...
Oh, one of my lines that I think Phoebe said was, I would, but I don't want to.
Yes! I wish I could, but I don't want to.
I love that line.
That was one of the times that I laughed. Like, I really liked that.
I don't think I laughed. I think I smiled.
Okay, that's an improvement.
It's an improvement because there was a laugh track that I think it laughed like a lot right there. Or live audience, I guess. But right there, it's just like, no, not laughing. I am not gonna laugh at your jokes.
Oh, yep. Okay, so when Chandler's talking about how he was an only child and had an imaginary friend, I'm an only child, and I have an amazing story. So when I was very young, like 3,
okay.
I had this imaginary cat. Even though I had real cats, I also had an imaginary cat named Hocho.
Okay.
And at one point, I came up to my parents and I was crying. And I said, Hocho died.
I remember this story.
Yes, and he's an imaginary cat.
Oh my.
And that's all I could think about when I was watching that scene. I was like, oh my. So I technically killed my imaginary cat when I was 3.
That's true. I don't think I had an imaginary cat. But my brother Johnny, he wouldn't play with me when I was little. So I went, fine, I'm gonna go play with imaginary Johnny.
It's so sad. You've told me this before.
And I played with imaginary Johnny all the time. But what would have to happen is like we were playing chess or something. I'd be on one side of the board. I'd reach over, scooch a piece over. Oh wow, good move, imaginary Johnny.
Oh my god.
Yeah. That
is fantastic.
Yeah. I probably could have just asked one of my parents to play with me, but
you had to be spiteful. You had to have
exactly. I had to be.
Real Johnny with his counterpart, imaginary Johnny.
Who is more fun. Ha ha ha.
Take that, Johnny. Also, the 90s-ness of this show was hilarious. Like the giant phones. At one point she's calling someone, and it's bigger than her head.
Yeah.
And the hair. Oh my gosh.
Oh. When did this come? 1994.
And then there's some of the not so fun 90s things. Like how all the men treat women.
Yeah.
And how they treat anyone that has any fat anywhere on their body.
Yeah.
Or how they treat Ross when he says he's only been with Carol. I felt so bad for him because it's like, that's not a bad thing. Just let Ross be himself. Like, don't make fun of him.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think?
That was the episode that I laughed.
Oh.
Do you know why I laughed?
Why?
Because he got hit in the face. I don't like him.
Yeah. See, I actually really didn't. I liked that he got hit in the face because I don't like Ross. I hated that effect so much though when they had the things. Oh,
it I was like spun at his face and it like the camera like moved towards his face. That was annoying.
And then they did it again and I was like, nope. That was like,
why did they keep doing this?
I didn't like it.
Mm-hmm. That part was annoying, but the part where he got hurt, well, yes. I liked because I didn't like him, I guess. Yeah, because I didn't like any of them.
And then another thing that I really didn't like is the fact that they had his wife who realized that she was lesbian. Throughout the whole show, she was the butt of every joke.
Yeah.
Everything was like, oh, she's a lesbian. It's like, come on. She was like...
Yeah, that part was...
I was not happy. Yeah. Yeah, my one note just says, I hate the 90s.
Well, I mean...
Some of it. It's kind of true. Honestly.
But it was just... It was in the 90s, though, so...
Yeah. Oh, so my parents apparently are brilliant, if you did not know this. And when we were watching, they looked in the background of one of the shots and went, that's Creed from The Office.
I did notice that.
Creed is in the background. I couldn't see it.
But I noticed that.
I have terrible eyesight, so I couldn't see it. But I was like, I was so excited.
I don't remember I don't remember which episode it was, but at one point, I just have this note that says Creed. But I don't know when
Creed?
I wrote that. It just says Creed.
I think it was the Freud episode. When they went to Joey's play and Joey was the butt.
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Joey doesn't only play a butt. Joey is a butt.
Oh.
Also, that was my worst segue I've ever done. But it's true. What did you think of Joey?
Definitely my least favorite character.
Is it just me, or did you have an urge to punch him in the face the whole time?
I had an urge to punch all of them except for Phoebe for some of the time.
Yeah,
I wanted
Phoebe.
to punch them in the face. I liked Phoebe.
I liked Monica. I just didn't like the guys. Like, I didn't like... Rachel
Exactly.
was alright. I liked her.
Okay, no, Rachel
She was
was whiny
okay.
and really annoying. Monica?
Compared to Joey, though? Joey
Yes, compared
was
to
like...
Joey. Like, Joey, I really wanted to punch in the face, but the rest of them, I would have gladly punched them in the face. But
Oh, yeah.
I would have gladly punched any of them in the face, honestly. Most people, but...
Yeah. So, have you seen Seinfeld?
Yes, some of it.
Well, it's
A little
amazing. Same. I've only seen a little bit. But what I have seen and what I know about it is the fact that the characters are just despicable, but they're so likable.
Yeah.
Like, you honestly just love
Are they
them.
likable?
Kind of. Like, you want them to be... Well, we're gonna say that they're likable because most of my parents' friends are just like characters from Seinfeld. And so I think they're likable. But they have a quality that you want to keep watching them.
Oh, yeah.
But I felt like on this show, it didn't have that quality. I was just like, oh, they're supposed to be good people, but I don't like them.
Oh, okay.
And
I
on
feel
that, it was like the opposite.
Okay, so the thing is, I'm not very good with telling if people are, like, because I get annoyed with them. I get, like, basically every show we've watched so far, I haven't liked the characters.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Well, you also don't like main characters, and this show
I
doesn't
don't
have a
like
lot of side characters. And if they do, they're weird, like the lady at the laundromat.
Okay, that was weird.
I did not know what was happening there.
I was just like, what is going on?
It
But
was like, if you
yeah,
want to have Ross
most
be a knight
characters
in
I
shining armor, make it about like a real thing. Make it not that this one lady at the dry cleaner is making up weird rules. Like, I was
but
like,
I also liked that.
oh, you liked that. Did you like the storyline of that?
Yes, I like the fact that it's like, oh, he's the knight in shining armor, but it's laundry.
Yeah. I didn't like how it was executed, but I did like that he was being gentle towards Rachel.
Mm-hmm. And he was like helping her, even though like if that was me, I'd be like, oh, you're an idiot. All you have to do is like just do this. Come on.
Tabby, you're not painting a very good picture of yourself right now. You're like, I don't like any characters on TV shows. I call people idiots. I want to punch people in the face.
Okay, it's just this show especially. I really disliked the characters on this show.
I mean, yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Truly. And, okay, one of my favorite things, though, from this show, I actually laughed on this one, is when they were talking about how parents tell the kids that they're gonna send the dog away to a farm, even though they're putting down the dog. And Ross goes, well, that's really funny, because our parents actually sent our dog to the farm.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And he was describing it, and it's
so,
like, he's like, they play on
oh my
rainbows
gosh.
there.
Yeah, and you're just like, stop. Oh, stop. This is cringy.
I liked Dopey Ross. Like, I thought he was sweet, and I liked when he was, like, being a knight in shining armor to Rachel, and, like, being silly, and, like, not dumb, but, like, just out there.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of the worst. So they took that quality away. He's not as bad as Joey, though.
No, Joey's definitely the worst. But I do see where you're coming from.
Yeah, so I found it interesting when watching this, because there's a lot of shows that I associate my friend group with, where I'm like, oh my gosh, we all behave like characters on Parks and Rec.
Even though I never do. Okay.
We do. But, I always have, like, certain shows where I'm like, oh my gosh, they have the dynamic of me and my friends. And this show is actually called Friends, and it's supposed to be relatable, but the whole time I was like, they don't actually like each other. They're all just kind of mean to each other.
I don't know, because,
and have nothing in common.
It really depends on which type of friends you're talking about.
But,
because, okay, so my older brother and his friends, like, they kind of, like, they make fun of each other. I've got a friend that we kind of just make fun of each other. But that's because, like, we're good enough friends that, or, like, you can make fun of them without them being, like, upset or anything.
Yes, and I have those people in my life. But I felt like this was a different level where they didn't really have anything in common, and, like, they just met Rachel.
They didn't just meet. Okay. Well,
Monica and Ross knew Rachel.
Monica and Ross knew Rachel from, grew up together? High school, yeah.
And, like, I got that, like, Monica and Rachel would be friends and, like, that she would take her in because Rachel couldn't go to anyone else. I liked that idea. Like, I liked that situational type thing. And I liked Rachel getting to strike out on her own and learn new things. I loved the basic plot, but I didn't think that Joey, Chandler, or Phoebe had to be there. I loved Phoebe, but I don't think any of them had to be there. Because they were, like, or they could have been, like, background characters, because they didn't fit into the core plot. And, like, Joey and Chandler, I'm like, where did these guys come from?
Well, okay, I feel like the core plot has... So the first episode, you're like, okay, so, like, they're definitely... It's because, like, Rachel just got here, she's trying to, like, fit in and stuff, she's new. But then it seems, in, like, the second episode, it just suddenly seems like she's been there for, like, years. Or a third, I mean.
Yeah, I was like, is this a time jump?
But she seems like they seem like they really, like they became friends really fast. Almost.
But they didn't have anything in common, and they didn't spend time
together. You don't need
together.
things in common when you have, like, sometimes you don't need to have everything in common with a friend.
You don't need to have I think we're just gonna get into argument about what constitutes a true friend.
I think you can be a friend, like,
but because
they do have things in common, like their personalities, like,
because they all suck.
Well, yes, but
so also, they all found each other.
Huh? Yeah, they found, but like they seem to like hit it off really well and stuff, and they all know each other, and they're all friends because they get along, not because they have things in common.
Yes. Yeah.
And you can get along without having things in common with somebody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just didn't quite get why they were over, like, that much, like, every day just sitting at Monica's ugly and very cluttered and not clean apartment.
Her apartment was clean, wasn't it?
They had stuff on every single surface, and it's like, how do you can't keep this clean. That's not possible.
Well, I don't know. It seemed clean to me, but I share a room with my sister, and it is messy most of the time, so.
My room is messy-ish, but it has stuff everywhere, and so then, like, it can never truly be clean, because there's so many things in it. But for Monica, like, she's supposed to be this super clean freak, meanwhile she has mugs covering every inch, and... Ooh.
Well, that doesn't exactly mean that but everything's organized. Everything's in its spot. I think that could mean clean. It depends on your definition of clean. Because, like, for me, clean is everything is on a shelf. Nothing's just randomly on the floor. Which, there weren't random things on the floor. She didn't leave her shoes randomly laying around, which was something that she mentioned.
That was funny when she was freaking out.
Like, she didn't, like, on her, on the table, she didn't just put random things on there and leave them. Everything had its spot.
But it just happened to be slightly chaotic.
Well,
like, even though it had its spots.
A lot of stuff. She just has a lot of stuff, I think.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's because to me it seemed very clean.
Oh,
meaning
yeah.
very organized and very in place.
That makes sense. I think part of what I was reacting to were the colors. And, like, the decor, because sometimes certain decor certain colors in a room can make me think that it's not clean, even though it actually is.
Like, what color was her room? Like,
it was...
Like...
It was, like, neon purple.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird color.
And then, I was not a fan. Not a fan. And also, how does she afford that apartment? The age-old question.
What's her job?
She's a chef? But, like, she doesn't own a restaurant. Like,
no,
she
works there.
She just works at, like... She just works, like, a sous chef position, right? She
works a chef position. Because people were calling her chef, weren't they?
Oh, then she probably works as chef. Okay.
She doesn't own the restaurant, but she works as a chef there, I think. Is that how things work? I don't know.
I don't know. I have no idea. I think that I think we should come back to this show at some point when we're older. And then we can see it again and go, oh, see, that's like me. And then go, but I still don't like this show, so I'm going to go and watch New Girl instead, which is the good version of Friends.
I don't know if it's different.
Well, actually, New Girl did borrow a lot, and I believe the show was inspired by Friends, because it's a girl gets, like, kicked out of her apartment, can't live there, so she moves into something with a bunch of people that, like, know each other from high school and college, and then she slowly falls in love with the, like, the leading man
really, it's the group of friends, so.
Yeah.
I guess so, but then you could... Okay, yeah, I guess I can see that. It seems very different than Friends, though. The style of the show is very
more
different,
modern. It's like Friends, if Friends had been made now, because they wouldn't do it like a sitcom now. If they're making a show like this.
That might be it, because it has the same idea, but it's executed differently.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, maybe it does seem like modern Friends, actually.
Yeah. I think I've read a little bit before, like, about Friends and about the show. Mostly, like, random BuzzFeed articles about it. But I know that there's a lot, especially as it goes on, that it gets more politically incorrect. And, like, I thought these first few, I was like, oh, that's a lot. But apparently, like, the one, I can't remember, I think it was, like, Chandler or somebody, goes on a date with someone who's trans. And then he freaks out because he didn't realize she was trans, and then he stops going out with her. And it was like, that's not...
Yeah.
That's not okay.
This was in the 90s.
True. But it was a little hard to watch for me.
You didn't watch that part?
No, I meant the show in general. It was hard to watch.
Oh,
not
I was
that
like,
part.
wait a second.
And then you find out that I secretly skipped ahead. No, I did not.
You find out that you secretly like Friends.
No! That would be the worst. No, I don't. I thought I did. I really thought I liked it. When I watched the first couple episodes, I laughed. And my family and I were all like, oh, we could watch that sometimes, like for a fun sitcom. And then it kept going. And I went, oh, these jokes get old.
So a few days ago, I said, have you started watching Friends yet? And Molly goes, yeah, I watched it. Actually, I liked it more than I thought I would. I laughed a lot. And then I asked her again yesterday. She goes, I finished it. I don't like it.
I was like, I finished it. I hate it. Joey needs to go get punched, and I'm never going to touch this show again. So, I would recommend probably not watching this. I don't think I'm going to continue.
One thing I would like to say that I totally forgot about earlier.
Oh?
Friends was originally called Insomnia Cafe.
What?
That's what they were going to call it.
Insomnia Cafe.
But then they called it Friends.
Interesting. I wonder why, so why was it, because it's Central Perk? Like, Is that why they were going to call it Insomnia Cafe?
Think so? I don't know. Okay, these
no one has
articles I'm
insomnia.
reading, I've looked up a ton of articles, and all of them are just like, this is what it is, here. But then it doesn't give you the background, and I can't find anything with the background on it, so.
So it's just Insomnia Cafe from now on.
Well, I think that the writer wrote the 7-page pitch called Insomnia Cafe in the beginning.
And then when they wrote
And then they
more,
decided
it turned to Friends.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I kind of want to see what the original version, like what the Insomnia Cafe...
I think that was just because
I wonder if they would spend more time in Central Perk, as opposed to just having it for a little bit.
they spend a lot of time in that cafe, though.
I felt like they spent almost more time at the apartment. Because it was like divided between the two.
Yeah, it was like there was like 2 sets that they went to all the time, which were the cafe and Monica's apartment.
Probably because they couldn't have as many sets since they had to have a whole live audience.
Oh, and the
doctor's office. They went to a couple of times.
Office. The dry cleaners.
The dry cleaner. Okay.
For the
Do you have a favorite line from this?
Okay, I have one of my notes that just says, "Oh my God, I have elbows." Which was when
What?
Rachel's friends come into town and they're like, and they just start squealing.
Oh.
And then Phoebe and Monica go, "Oh my God, I have elbows." And they say it just like that, and I love that line.
That one was hilarious. See, probably my favorite is when Carol is at the doctor's and Ross is playing with the equipment, and she just looks at him and goes, "Ross, that opens my cervix." And he just
yeah,
I love.
And he just
so
like
hard at
drops
that
it and runs away.
Yeah, I also loved when she just kept saying it's just floopy, because that's how I feel about 2020. It's just so floopy. All right, well, did you have anything else to say about it?
I don't. Do you?
No? Oh, actually, yes, I do. Are you going to continue in any capacity?
No.
All right, I don't think I am either.
I don't think. Well, okay. So the thing is, I don't have HBO Max anymore.
Oh,
but also.
Oh no more HBO Max shows?
Huh?
We can't do any more?
Well, we don't have any on our schedule anyway. But
I know,
anyway,
but still.
Yeah, but I think even if I did, I wouldn't keep watching it just because it annoyed me to watch it.
You know what I'm going to recommend for everyone? Don't watch Friends. Go and watch New Girl.
I love New Girl. New Girl is actually one of my favorite shows.
It is so good. Maybe we can do a special episode about New Girl at some point, because that show is amazing.
But please write us with any suggestions at the first 6 podcast at gmail.com.
Next week, we will be doing a party episode.
Oh, yeah.
Because it is Tabby's birthday next week. So
next week, we are going to be doing all of the birthday episodes from Gilmore Girls, which just happens to be 6 episodes, actually.
Which is very strange.
Very convenient. Even though there are 7 seasons, there's only 6 birthday episodes, I believe.
Interesting. Well, we'll have to.
But yeah, we'll watch all of the Gilmore Girls birthday episodes next week for my birthday.
Awesome. Well, happy almost birthday.
If you haven't already, please subscribe.
Keep watching.
And keep listening.
Thank you for listening to the First 6 podcast. This show is hosted by Molly Southgate and Tabby Hollowed. It is edited by Rob Southgate and produced by Southgate Media Group in conjunction with Mastery Media. You can find us on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, and Facebook at the First 6 Podcast. Get in touch with the show at the First 6 Podcast at gmail.com. Please rate and review us wherever you listen to this show. It really helps. Thanks again for listening. Catch you on the next channel.